Okay, so hello again. Let me change the mode of the presenter to one person at a time. Um, we have three presentations today, Westy, Jim, and Jose in this order. Hopefully Mercedes will join us later on and she could help in the translation. If not, we'll manage one way or the other. A little bit about the structure of the session today. Now it's supposed to move to the next slide. Okay. Um, Typically, we have two, three, four presenters. Today, we have something special. In addition to the presentations today, we're going to have a promo, a 5 minutes promo of one of our workshops. So this is a new addition to the schedule of the session. We have wonderful workshops that we offer to our members, and perhaps they are not being publicized enough. So here's an opportunity for us. So every session of Sculpslam, we are going to give a promo 5 minutes of one of our workshops. So that's special today. Typically, a session lasts between 60 to 75 minutes. Three presenters. Every presenter has 12 to 14 minutes to present while everybody else are muted. I'll notify the presenters when the 14 minutes time is up. And the presentation is self-paced. You tell me the presenters, you tell me where to advance to the next slide by saying the next, and I'll do that. There will be one Q&A session at the end of the presentations. The session, as you heard, is being recorded and posted on our website, and any opinion is presenting the presenter's opinion, not the opinion of the NESA. Also, there's one more line here that I cannot see. Oh, what did I do? Okay, okay. The next session will be September 22nd. Tell your member friends and colleagues about that. We still have opening for presenters. So without do anything, here is the promo of today, and Baida will take us through it.
So Zvi had a wonderful idea that at the beginning of every Sculpt Slam, we can advertise our upcoming workshops. And because the next Sculpt Slam is going to be in September, so we're supposed to advertise anything that's going to take place between now and September. So one of the things I scheduled from perhaps last year is to have a session in belly dancing. It's more like a potluck party where people can come, bring a little bit of food, whatever drinks that they want, bring folding chairs, we'll sit out in the garden, party and have fun and listen to music and dance. And then part of the dancing is people can participate and some other people perhaps want to sketch, or you can dance and then sketch or vice versa, but then you will have a chance to have they call it like posture gesture sketching. So these are really fast sketches of the dancer. I can pose, or somebody else who's dancing can pose. If you are into figure, then that would be really fun to do. And you can take these sketches later on and build on them and do some kind of sculpture. So it's going to be on the 12th of July from 5 to 7, and it's really specifically for NISA members. We're not opening it up to anybody else. The other event is we're having this gathering for all of us, emerging new members and existing members, and we would like everybody to show up. I can't remember exactly when the date is. I know it's in July as well. Um, I think it's on, 1 minute, guys. Let me see. It's the 26th. It's the 26th from 1 to 5, and it's going to be in Worcester. So stay tuned and come to this party. It's going to be in a very nice location. on the fifth, sixth, seventh floor of a very nice building. And again, we're gonna have food and drink and partying and socializing and getting to know, especially the new members that joined NISA recently. Any questions?
And some of the images, of course.
Oh, of course, images. Don't forget to look at my images. Here in my class, I'm teaching belly dancing. Here I'm performing. There was a beautiful gallery here called the Sprinkler Factory that was closed because the sprinklers were not working. So it was dangerous. The fire department decided to close it down, unfortunately. Mm, It's
Nice
very
motion.
it's very ironic. But these are the poses that perhaps you want to sketch and then build on and see if you want to do any kind of sculpture later on.
Okay,
Mm.
Like,
Any questions? All
thank
right.
you.
We're
Well,
gonna move
that's
to
what a
Westy.
great promo, and hopefully people will
Yes.
attend. And
Thank
we'll
you.
move on to the first presenter. Westy, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so here we go. You tell me next when you want me to move to the next slide. Here's the first one.
Okay, I'm gonna go quickly through. I'm Westy. I live in Boston. To view some of my art and not looking out my window. Uh,
Ooh.
Came into NISA through suggesting I join when we were in Vermont at the carving studio. And quickly, Michael Gudagno was aware of nonprofit executive background and put me onto some board of advisors. The group didn't last long, but it was really a great introduction to the work of NISA. And here I am, having sort of come in and out for a little while and finally joining as an active member. Next, I see myself, next, I see myself as eclectic. You know, one of the things about my life has been it's been very non-linear, and I think it's true of my art that it's exploratory art, and I continue to have a lot of fun trying new things. Having moved back to Boston, my youngest got out of high school. I've been a happy Bostonian, but my sculpting got postponed a long time from when I thought about it. While I had a career, I went to the seminary. I became a broadcaster on TV4. Um, I ran two large nonprofits, including developing the Greater Boston Food Bank. I was a professor at Boston College for over a decade, but I'm proudly a sculptor and I own it. Next, I started this way. I was in the middle of a snowstorm visiting Wickford, Rhode Island, and it was a perfect snow for packing. So I entertained myself with the snow for a while. And when it wound up on the front page of the Providence Journal, I was hooked with the idea that I could sculpt. Now, it was a very rudimentary self-awareness. I'd never tried it before. I don't do art. My mother did a lot of art and I didn't want to try, so I avoided it. But this got me hooked. Moving on. Next. Uh, and one of the great lessons for me has been that it's fabulous to have teachers, and I have been very fortunate. Norris, Norvin, who was at the MFA, then at Stony Brook. I helped him create Stony Brook as a friend. Bia Moore was a donor to one of my projects in Boston, and she hooked me into coming up to the carving studio in Vermont. And there, Nora Valdez was my first teacher in stone. I am most grateful for Morris and B and Nora and their influence on my life and the carving studio. But the lesson in this picture is I look back over my slides in the last 10 years and I realize I've thrown away 100 things I've created. And I think that's a great lesson to me and to artists, and it came from Morris, which is to create and throw away, to free yourself up from owning, from becoming obsessed with the finished product, with every product, so that you are inventing, trying, risking, using different forms and patterns to do the artistic work. Moving on, next. I now am based at the Humphrey Street Studios, and I once again affirm the joy of working with other Humphrey Street. We have about 40 artists and craftsmen who share the space. We almost lost it. Boston's lost most of its studio space. We went to bat with a campaign called Art Works Here, Art Stays Here. We got the mayor to back us with a down payment on a mortgage, and we now own our $3 million property as a community of artists with our own board. And I am really happy that there's some security in having a space that's going to be around for a while, long term. Joe Wheelwright, some of you knew him, was in this space before it became at risk of being turned over to developers after he died. I also say that one of the things about working in this kind of community is that we're every kind of medium. And there are 3 members of NISA who are at Humphrey Street. Next. Stone has just enthralled me. I find it to be so classic, so ancient, so interesting, so challenging. Radius on the left and the tower on the right. I live in a tower, and the sculpture was meant to reflect that view out the window for a site-specific gift. But I have loved working in stone, and I have loved the challenge of being able to learn every time how little I know and how hard it is to work with the hard substance. But I do own the idea of, as a career, I make big stones small. Next. I created this mobile. I hadn't done anything outdoors, and I realized I wasn't working in a large scale. So this is the second piece I did for outdoors. It's 11 feet high. I did it for Flying Horse in Hamilton, and I worked in ceramics to do the eyes, nose, and mouth. Uh, Metal uh, hoop that you can't see that's all the way around it in steel, and cut steel plate for the eyebrows, airplane wire to hold it all. It was great until the first storm, and then the eyebrows started sawing and managed to cut away other items. Even though this stuff was great for 90 pounds, it didn't withstand the storm. So I had to recreate while it was hanging to go back and keep it up for the rest of the show. Another humbling experience. Next. The other piece outdoors next is Circle of Life. I'm very, very happy with the piece. Um, I was, like most artists, always intrigued by tools. And Rick Rothrock, who's a teacher up at the carving studio, had a coring bit that I'd never seen. It was big. And so I managed to mooch use it for a day, and it allowed me to put the first hole in the center of a big block of stone and see the striation, and went from there to follow the striation. I also, in my background, have a degree in psychology, and I'm very intrigued by mythology. So the Oribus, if you know the Oribus, it's the idea of the snake eating its own tail. I thought we needed a modern mythology. My Danish background knows that Thor wore a snake serpent around the waist, and that was the idea that the earth was held together by his belt. But I wanted to do something that I thought was in the contemporary venue that was an affirmation of women, an affirmation of creativity. And so this is about the unending circle, the recreating process of life. And Dan Marble, I think it has had a show now at Hamilton and at Rockport at our NISA show, and it's currently in the NISA show at Cape Cod Museum of Art. I'm very excited as a young artist to have work in that's, I think, held up well in the different venues. Next. I think one of the other things about work is the figure has continued to be my subject. I see myself as a modern figurative artist, though classic art belongs in the figurative realm. So this clay to bronze is a studio product a few years ago. It has only been shown once, but I do love the effort to try to capture ethnicity. And I think it's very important in our time and in our place to reflect the human form, but also to consider all the variations of the human form. So in doing an African American model, I think I managed to capture something that worked well, especially with a studio that's in Dorchester, in a neighborhood that is very heavily Liberian and African. It has its own place of appreciation for open studios when people come around. the challenge of expressing ethnicity in art, I think, is a particular challenge, and I'm glad for the outcome of this novice effort to create Maya, as I've named her. Another piece that is, I think, very good next is to play with stones. I've been looking for exotic stones, and if any of you have sources, I think one of the great things that we should do at NISA is share sources. It's terrible to find stone. I mean, we just, carving studio sells stone, but if I want to go find something, that's hard. So this is a red jasper, fairly rare form, something to find in the kind of store. It's not a rare stone, by the way. It's in almost every continent. This is from Pakistan, as it turns out. And the what I did with it is really just to show off the stone because I thought it was so elegant in its deep reds and its wonderful marble white veins running through it. I've had a very, very good, happy time working with that. The next one is woke. This one is a part of a social consciousness. I call her woke, even though her eyes are closed. Again, I love the multiple dimensions of race and character. It's a pillow sticking out. I have to say it wasn't purely understood that way, um, but it's a piece that has begun to be shown now by me. Next, and I sometimes look for ways to share stories through my art, and I think that whether the story is a ballerina, as my granddaughter was with me, or the story of the old guy, the latter, desperate for freedom, as my homage to refugees who've come the hard way to cross the walls and to find their path to freedom. Next. That's a cut sheet metal in the background and it's clay to bronze. Next, I did that in Carrara, by the way. And then most recent two pieces to show you before I end. One is I call calling her Pathos. Pathos. I, I am in a lot of angst in these times, and I think the times warrant feeling in angst. But this was to try to evoke compassion, sympathy, to feel the sorrow and the weight of the world on other people. So the sculpture was given to the task of seeing if I could communicate emotion as well as a human form. It was also a great challenge to do hair in a new way for me. And I was excited by having something that I think I could live with as a end result. Yet to be shown, just out of the foundry, in fact, last week, 2 weeks ago. And finally, I have been working in another media, which is resin next, using a smooth on casting. This is resin with a mold, resin in bronze, in gold, and in paper currency. If you look closely at the paper currency, you'll see all of the faces on currency are female. Of course, there's one problem of one country that doesn't women currency. Oh, that would be us. But the theme of inestimable worth is a struggle on my part to again make a positive statement through art, to value women, to value them in different forms and fashions, and I think kind of a fun studio piece and showpiece. So that gives you an introduction next to what I'm doing in art, and I love the next week. I love the challenges. I put up something for Egmont Sculpture. There's something in Facebook, and you can reach me at wegmont, Egmont at Gmail. I love the community of NISA. It's been exciting to meet many of you at openings, and I look forward to developing friendships through doing this and coming to some of the events this coming year. Thanks.
Okay. Wonderful. Just on time. Good pace and nice presentation. Thank you. Again, we're going to have the Q&A for everybody at the end, and we'll move on to the next presenter. Jim, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, take it away.
This slide here, this is my current studio. And that's in Bethel, Connecticut. The sculpture in front, I made for a show at this property. I have the Trailer Box Project, which is something I developed about 13 years ago, and I put shows on for other artists. And I had literally trailer boxes at my old studio, and so I had graffiti artists paint the surfaces. We had 100 feet length on the boxes, and we put on a lot of events. And we had an event here at this studio, and a friend was kidding me about the word no, because I have a bad habit of I can't say no. People will come up and want me to do something, I never say no. So she dared me. She said, you have to make a no sculpture. And so then she said, why don't you have a no show? So we did. We had a show, and everything was about the word no. And so I made this piece out front, and just just threw it together, kind of thing, and not giving it any second thought really. And this is the first piece that one of the shows that I put on at my place that I sold at the show. It was hysterical, but. So anyway, we put shows on. We have a show up right now, outdoor sculpture. I have 2.5 acres, and behind the building there's a sculpture garden, and a couple members of NISA are in the show, and it's kind of nice. It'll run until September 26th or 21st, something like that. You can go to the next slide. So this here is a sculpture I made a number of years ago. I've been intrigued with the concept of industrial archaeology, and I was first drawn to it by the photographers, the Bechters. They did photographs of water towers, and I was really drawn to the repetition of the towers and the whole idea of a line going through an environment. So I made these smokestacks, and it's variable because you can separate the parts on it. But that's probably 50 feet long, and they stand 8 feet tall. And the whole idea of them is they'll disintegrate eventually, and they'll continually change their appearance. That's what I want to happen with those. So I have some other
Excuse me, Jim, what's the material?
It's a sheet
Excuse me.
steel.
Derek, let's leave the question to the end.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay.
That's okay. Well, anyway, they're made out of sheet steel. So I rolled 3, each one has 3 sections that are riveted together. And I got a 36 diameter steel base that holds them up. And I have some other smokestacks that I'm designing. And another thing I'm designing is in a corner of an industrial building. So it would be broken glass and windows and broken brick, and they'll go vertical. And the corner of the buildings will repeat in 5 like this. Next. So another thing this is supposed to be a pinball. I call it Pinball Park. And this is at my old studio. And we had a show, and I did this installation in front of the overhead door. And the whole idea was to sell a concept where I could make a pinball machine on somebody's property. And all the bumpers and the play field can be variable and with color of stone and planting and etc. And so it's a concept that I've come up with, and I'm trying to develop it further. And Pinball Park. Next. This piece here I call Ginger's Dream. And I have it in this, I work in a lot of different materials. This is found objects. The hats are brake rotors from an automobile that I welded a plate onto them and made them like that. And I call it Ginger's Dream because of Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire dancing. Fred Astaire with the top hat, how he would flip it around, and this is in Darien, Connecticut. At Collector bought it and made that quite a while ago. Ginger's Dream, and I just was to show that I work in found objects or raw material, various things. Next. So this photo here is in New Haven. Well, actually, it's at Yale's West Campus, not New Haven. I think that's Oxford. Citywide Open Studios is an event that Art Space used to put on. And I was in it 2 years, and it's Citywide Open Studios. I live in Ridgefield, Connecticut. I don't have a studio in New Haven, so people who don't have studios in New Haven, they have used the Armory or another facility like Yale's building. So artists were given a room in the building. And my concept, I call it, What About the Children? And I was, at that time, I was annoyed at what was going on at the southern border with the separation of children from their parents. And so I have in the corridor children's shoes going up to the door. I made this door. I took the college's door off the hinges and put this door in. And the children's shoes come up to the door. And inside the room, you look through the bars there, and dimly lit, there's a pile of 500 pairs of children's shoes. And so during the exhibition, I would be standing outside, and people would peer in the door, and they'd turn and leave, and they all were moved by it. And they commented, that reminded them of the Holocaust. And one person took me to task on it, and we had an argument. But other than that, everybody else was on board. Next. So here you see on the left, that's the pile of shoes. And my daughters helped me collect 500 pairs. They had little kids at the time, and asked different people if they would donate shoes. So I blacked out the room, and it's lit with an LED light behind the pile to give it that haunting appearance. And on the right, this jail cell that I built was, I call it in case you weren't paying attention. One of the parents donated 22 pairs of shoes to the project. And she saved the shoes, and she told my daughter she saved them as the kids grew up, and her mother had given them to her, and she couldn't throw them away. So her mother was an artist, and she heard about the project, and she donated them thinking that her mother would be happy that they were going to an art project. So I wouldn't put them in the pile. I put the 22 pairs of shoes in this cell that I made. So the cell's made out of steel, working door, and it's locked. And so in New Haven proper, Art Space had a physical building, and all people who participated in the month-long program could put a piece in their gallery. So I made this piece to go with the installation, and I showed that in their gallery in New Haven. Next, and that's all by itself. Yeah, and this one here is a project. It's a tree, and I made this for Ann's Place in Danbury. Ann's Place is an organization that offers services to families, people who are suffering from cancer uh, or a family member, so on and so forth. And they offer all kinds of services, and it's really a wonderful place. They do such a good job. And I've been working with them on fundraising over the years. And they have a children's room in the lower level, and they redecorated it, and they wanted a tree inside the room, and there's a mural, a forest mural behind the tree that a friend of mine did. And so I made this tree, and the tree is made out of wire mesh and round bar. I made the armature, and then it's covered in foam and painted, and it comes completely apart. And then so I could transport it and assemble it in their space. And I made it so there's the kids can go inside. It's like a little playhouse besides. Next. And this is the installation view. My friend Megan Marden is a wonderful artist. She painted the whole inside of the space and made it a forest. It went over pretty nice. Next. This piece here that's installed in New York City at the Time Warner building for a show. And it was really a fortunate project. I applied for it as other artists did, and it was a show that Time Magazine or Time Inc. And Kohler Corporation, it was a program they were doing, and they had selected 5 artists to make a work of art that represented a product that Kohler produced. So I made a model of this instead of a sketch, and that's what I submitted. And fortunately, I got the job. And so it stands 9 feet tall. The base is a foot, and the piece is 8 feet. And it had to be no larger than 10 feet because it had to go in a freight elevator. The reception was on like the second floor of the building, and then they installed it after the reception on the main floor. But my assignment was the Steward waterless urinal, and I had to be moved by the waterless urinal, and it was such a lovely shape, and I just kind of mimicked the shape, and I call this a portal, and that was that. The whole thing, their thing, Kohler was thinking forward about the future and products and so on, and so I decided to call it a portal, figuring you walk through there and to the future. Next. And then this piece here is, I'm into the circus, and I've been making circus. I have aerialists in my studio flying through in the ceiling and everything. And so I made this for a show. And it's a cannon. This is at in Richfield, Connecticut, the Koros Gallery from Manhattan. It's no longer in business. They had a residence and an outdoor sculpture park on their residence, and so I had made this for a show in New Haven, actually, in West Haven. And after that show, I was asked to put it in their sculpture show, outdoor show. So this is the outdoor show. So I made the cannon out of a lot of found material and fabricated it, wooden wheels, and then I have a barrel here, and in the barrel is a clown that I made, and implying that it was shot out. And so I got other circus things, but circus is my, I don't know, I got an obsession with the circus. Next.
Okay, 14 minutes.
Okay. Anyway, this is the three tenors. I cast things, and that's to show that I various materials and things that I work. Anyway, and that's another example. You can go next. And that's another example of fabricated dice series. And next. And that is the end. I restore sculpture, and that's one of the things I do to be able to have my studio. And that's an Alexander Lieberman sculpture called AIM. And one of the first, and I still work for the estate. And that's it. That's what I do.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Let's stop sharing for a second. Mercedes, are you on the call?
I don't think so. I'm very disappointed. She didn't get
She's
back
not.
to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jose, are you ready? And you try to do your best explaining your art?
I am ready.
You're
Okay.
ready. Okay, that's the spirit. Okay, here's the first one. Take it away. And whenever you're ready to move to the next slide, say next, and I'll move to the next slide. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, this piece is my first art. Okay, I show in the Worcester. Yeah, and this is a big guitar, and the exhibition is art in the park.
And park.
Yeah, maybe it is maybe 7 years, 6, 7 years. I don't remember. But after this guitar, they buy the Worcester City, and now is in the main street. It's a big piece, 12 inches. It is now in the main street in the front of Palladium and Worcester, Mass. Yeah, it's very important this sculpture for me, because it's my first art I showing in the big art showing in this country, and my first piece sell. Yeah, it's very important for me. That I know this time Gloria Hall around the she is they connect with other shows. It's important people, Gloria, for me, for my art. Next, please. Yeah, I am paint. And I make the landscapes and remember my country. I paint the abstract, but much more is good for me to work with murals. Yeah, this image is the Toro is the name is the Lemsol George. Yeah, it's the unique species in now is the diet in Galapagos Island. Yeah, I'm from the Ecuador. Ecuador is the Galapagos Islands. I work sometimes in Galapagos Islands and know the different animals, and like they represent them with my art, and I like represent the animals, the fishes, using only the recycled minerals, because my idea about they use the recycle, it is they care the nature, not the contamination, the water, the planet is very important for me. They take care of the nature. Next, please. Yeah, it is a fish, a lionfish. Yeah, it is. Sometimes pieces is recycled. My friend he's working in the company, the minerals company, and they collect for me different pieces, the trash, the metal trash, the laser cut. and he collect for me, and is good for me the different forms the minerals. And my idea is I like the beach, I like the ocean, I like the fishes, the animals, the ocean. It is a representation of my lionfish using only recycled minerals. Next, please. There is the same image. Next, please. Yeah, the seahorse. Yeah, this sculpture now is in Holy Cross Gallery. It is in the show now. The different pieces is the collect is the all tools, the bicycle parts, the door hinges, and the saw blades. The saw blades is the stomach. My friends, they working in the construction, collect for me the old saw blades. Yeah, the many community, Spanish community working in the construction. My friends, my parents, they collect for me the different materials. It is an excellent material for me because it's free, and have the results is excellent. Next, please. Yeah, it was a commission in my client is living in Gloucester. Yeah, I connected with my client in Pingree School exhibition, and she give me the commission. It's only using the forks. Using the forks, and the forks, it is not as recycled. It's new pieces. The forks, I buy it in the $3 store. For the commission, it is in the Gloucester. My client have the 4 pieces in my art. Is in Pingree School is very nice for me for sell my sculpture. Next, please. Yeah, this is the musician. The musician is using the same technique, and in the hat is a ball. Is my wife ball with all my balls in the hat. Yeah, it is now in the Worcester, in the public market inside. Yeah, the brother, the owner, the public market, they buy my sculpture for presented for her brother, and it is the 8 inches, and there's a big pieces, and it is in Worcester. I have 4 public sculptures, and other piece public I have in selling mass. Next, please.
Jose, do you mean 8 feet?
Yeah, yes, 8 feet.
8 feet, yeah.
Yeah, this is the there. It is now in the Pingree School. Yeah, it's using the same technique. The much more pieces, the saw blades. And this pieces have a history. I inspired in the one day the driving with my wife. We see an accident, and the car is the accident with a deer in the highway, and the police, the traffic, stop the traffic, And after we see the accident is the car with this there. And I think about this accident, I inspired in this moment I after the 2 years, I make this sculpture. Next, please. Yeah, it is a small pieces. I work in the small pieces and the big piece. I use the wood, the minerals. The species is much more commercial for sale. And the looking for the exhibitions, the looking for the in the galleries, membership, the Art Wister, Art Wister Gallery, and looking for a space for sale my pieces. Next, please. Yeah, this piece the is much more have much more concept. Concept. It is a trance. The name is trance. It is my idea is about we are now living the connect with the technology. I represent the technology with in these mechanics pieces, and the phase, the I don't know, the sleep, the trance, in trance. With now living the people's living they connect every time with technology. Next, please. Yeah, it is some one pieces. Some one pieces. In the first they use the little stone and the minerals and the minerals the train the middle piece is the name is the family. Is represent the family the I don't know the chicken I don't remember the names, but it's interesting for me
Rooster and chicks.
yeah it's interesting for me the working in the different pieces. It represent the nature, the different objects. Next, please. Yeah, it is now the birds is using the using the spoons and the pallet wood. Yeah, everything in my work is I like the use of the recycled materials, the minerals, the wood, the plastic, and the other imagines the cities, the city, and the wood, the construction wood. Is I like the use of the recycle. I working in my country with plastic, what tires, and plastic, and then mineral. Next, please. Yeah, the first imagine it was a commission. The group in Worcester, the Casita Cultural Latina. I work every year with Casita because they do the show in the day of this every year. They are the show with the Mexican eating, and this piece is the size is the 3 inches. Yeah, the middle pieces is a table line. Is everything they use in the recycle. They put the different pieces. The form the mechanic piece, the machine, and the glass. The other piece is it is the using the light, the car, and the bicycle parts. Next, please. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you. Nicely done. Let's open the floor to questions. Feel free to ask a question and just go ahead.
I have a question for Jose.
Okay.
Jose, first of all, I love these presentations. I'm amazed at the breadth and the scope of people's sculptures in this organization. It's fantastic, absolutely great. Jose, I saw a lot of your work at Pingree. It's fantastic, especially that musician. Question I had on the colors on your metal work, where you get the blues and the kind of copperies. How do you get the different colors?
Oh yeah. I use the first the black primer. The black primer, and after the handwork, the ceramic color.
Oh.
Yeah, it's easy. It's very easy. The technique. I have the maybe can you see the I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Metallic
Oh,
color.
paint.
Yeah.
Metallic
It's
paint.
easy. It's easy. The important is the black primer.
I see.
After
Easy.
they use the like.
Good.
Yeah.
I thought it was a special technique with chemicals and heat. No.
No.
Yeah, I thought you were using a torch, actually. I thought maybe
Yeah.
you're using heat and burning.
Yeah, I like I like the learn maybe other techniques.
Great. Thank you.
I really love all of your presentations because each one of you had a message in your art, and it touches my heart. Like Jim's pieces about the children's shoes. Oh my gosh, it almost made me cry. Jose's art about the environment and all these animals and how you're honoring them with very simple materials like forks or spoons or scrap metal. Wesley's honor for the community and representing the variety of people, black and white. It's just each one of you is just such noble artists. I love you all, really. You're amazing.
You.
Really nice. Nice work. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm new to I'm very interested those beavers. No, not beavers.
The three beavers. Yeah, they are,
The
right?
beavers.
Yeah.
I'm very interested. How do you connect those forks together? What kind of material you use to?
Yeah, I use
You salt it?
the weld.
Welding.
The welding, yeah. The welding.
Oh, welding. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Is it MIG welding, TEG welding?
Oh no, the regular welding. Yeah, I have the basic tools. I use the I don't know this the name. The
gas welding. We call it gas welding.
oh yeah, yes.
Wesley, I like your statement that you made during your presentation that you prefer to move forward and not necessarily reach a full optimal completion of every piece, but move on to cover another narrative, another topic. Could you expand on that? Because I'm very much in favor of that.
I think it's important not to get, it's an obsessive activity, sculpting. Sometimes I think of like working on the circle of life. It's a Zen experience to do as much handwork as I did on that. I probably had 60, 100 hours of smoothing by hand the circle. But I think there's also a point of understanding the Buddhist principle that imperfection is life. And accepting that as part of art, especially. Moving on. is one of the ways to do that.
Good principle. I like that.
Yeah. How easy is it for you to let go of your art? Because you said not to hang on to our art, and I think many of us find it very difficult to part with our art.
Oh no, they're all children. I don't like to give them up. But yeah, I mean, I think that's part of the discipline is when I talked about crushing work every week or every 2 weeks that you'd worked on. Uh, that was a real spiritual discipline. It was really about the experience of valuing the process and the learning rather than the product. And I do think that that's a very hard lesson for most of us.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree though. The process is everything really for me anyway, when I'm working. But everything else is something different, but process is everything.
And Jim, your processes are wide and varied. I want to race down there and learn how to put fabrication and
Yeah.
turn water looking like a urinal.
Yeah, no, I do a lot of the, well, I had my background, I had a automotive background. I used to have a car restoration shop. So I learned about a lot of materials and welding skills and, all that stuff and applied it to art. And then restoring artwork, I get to experience what other people have done, and it's like the graduate school thing. If I'm working on a Henry Moore sculpture or something like that, I get to touch it, and it's really it's pretty cool.
Mm.
So Jim, going
Explain, Jim,
back to the first
what was
slide of
the
your,
porcelain seat? The porcelain toilet fixture. What is the material?
Oh, that's made out of aluminum. The base is
Aluminum.
aluminum. Yeah, the structure is aluminum, and then paint, and it's an automotive urethane, the white and the gray. Yeah, it's all fabricated in aluminum.
Jim, going back to your first slide,
Yeah.
shouldn't you have another sculpture that says no means yes?
Yeah, yeah, but if you look at it from the other side, it says on.
On, it
On.
says
That's right.
on,
So just flip it
carry
around.
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you need just an exclamation mark. On.
Yeah.
Before and after the Spanish way.
Okay. Well, any other questions?
I just have a very important comment, especially for Westy, because he was asking about rocks. Please use the forum. It's very important because it will let other artists help you in finding what you're looking for. That's why we created it. Our artists requested the forum, but then people forget about it. But if you're really looking for material and you can't find it, drop that question down. It will go automatically to all artists and people who work with whatever, metal or rocks or wire, they will respond to you and help you in finding what you're looking for. The other thing I want to mention today that Justin apologizes to everybody. He had a commitment and he could not attend, and he was really looking forward to this Sculpslam. So he wanted me to pass his apologies to all.
Thank you.
Mm.
And remember, the next session is September 22nd, and Liang, you're going to be one of the presenters. So,
Yeah, we're looking
and
forward to it.
just a comment. I mean, when you present just a segment of your work. You can come back a few months down the road and do it again. Present another focus on different issues, on different topic. We can
Yeah.
go forever and ever doing that. Don't
Mm.
don't limit yourself to just one presentation, summarizing everything that you can do or did in 14 minutes. Split it into different times and we'll schedule you in, no problem.
Yeah.
We love to do that.
That
Yeah.
applies to all of us practically. If you have a new project you're working on and you would like to share it with us, by all means. The other thing I wanted to ask is V, and I didn't have time, I've been really busy. Is it okay to send our Zoom link to family and friends who can join, but without participating in our discussions, but at least they can watch and attend? this is your
Yes,
project, and we
yeah.
want to ask you.
We share the link with whatever you want to share. This is why the link is provided to you a couple of days before. So if you want to invite friends, family, colleagues, just share the link with them. There's no problem. Absolutely no problem of capacity or problem of security or anything like that. Just do that.
That's great, because this means that it's
Yeah.
when I asked Justin, he said it's I feel like it's more a safe haven only for our artists to join in and participate, but really if you feel you want other people to open up and participate, by all means, if Zvi is okay, because that's his baby, his project, we need to take his permission. If he's agreeable, please pass it on.
It's Lisa's project.
It's Lisa's project, but it was your idea, right?
I always say that, I say this every time maybe, but I think even for our fellow members, encourage people to come, because these are so interesting and useful and
I think
beneficial,
so.
I think. And
Yeah.
I'm always disappointed for all of us that there are not more of us. So anyway, spread the word.
Yeah. And
And by
yeah,
the way,
encourage other people to participate as
Right.
well.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. By the way, this session is being recorded for the sake of placement on our website within a YouTube file. So you can still share that file with anybody that you want to.
Yeah.
There's no
And on your
problem doing
website,
that.
you can share it, because that's good publicity for you and your work.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody for showing and
Thank you
presenting.
so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And see
Thank you,
you
and
all
Miles, for doing the
on
work.
Please join us in
September 22nd.
September 22nd and all the other events in between.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Bye now. Have a
Bye-bye.
good night.
Thank you. Great
Bye.
job,
Thank you so
everyone.
much.
Bye-bye.
Right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.